Looking for decent USB audio at a good price? Well, the doctor's got a prescription for you. Take one of these and call me in the morning. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Joe Finley, aka Miscast Joe, and we are reviewing another mic today. But before we get started, if you enjoy these videos, make sure you click like, click subscribe, click that bell so you get a notification of when my new videos come out. Alright, so today we are talking about the Razer Seiren Mini. I want to thank my friends over at CGM for getting me this to review. You can find my article reviewing this on cgmagonline.com or the link down below. Alright, so as far as a mic goes, it does not get simpler than this. It's teeny tiny. It's just built on this little stand, very similar stand to the Razer Seiren X that we reviewed before. The same kind of situation. This part unscrews and is about the same weight as the microphone itself. This middle part also unscrews as well. Beautiful, nice metal on the top here. Still plastic on the bottom, but that's okay. This is a very inexpensive mic, but I've heard actually quite good things about it. It also comes with this USB cable. It is a micro USB, and it's not braided like the other one was, but that's okay. It has a nice little silicone wrap though to keep it organized, and the end is actually form-fitting to the microphone. You'll see when it goes in, it actually completes it. You complete me. Well, there's nothing more to it. Let's get this bad boy plugged in and see how it sounds. Okay, so seconds later, and we're set up. It is plugged in. The cable's not necessarily as long as I would have liked it to be. It was just a little bit of a stretch to get to my computer, but not that bad. I'm sure most scenarios it'll be okay. I still do have some slack, so I'm not super concerned. The color, just from a stylistic brand kind of point, is a clash, but the people at Razer were kind enough to provide this mic to us for testing, so there's no sense in being ungrateful. But it does come in other colors. It comes in black and it comes in white, so you can get whatever you want to match your specific style if you're purchasing one. And you'll notice, if you can see here, that I have my little black adapter, the same one that I used for the Razer Seiren X. None of the other pieces fit in my mic arm, so I needed to throw in a little adapter on for that. If you have one lying around, great. If not, you might want to pick one up alongside this. They're fairly cheap. Something else worth noting on this, there is no headphone jack anywhere to be found on the microphone. So that means you can't have the zero latency monitoring that you have on a lot of other USB mics. That could be a problem for some people. Some people don't care at all about such things, but it's just worth noting that you can't do that. The setup was insanely easy because there is no real setup. You plug it in, the computer recognizes it, you're good to go. You can set it up as your main input in Windows. You can add it to your stream. There's no software for it whatsoever, so you don't have to do anything as far as setup is concerned. Plug and play. The small pup, not a hole in the sock. The fish twisted and turned on the bent hook. Pressed the pants and sew a button on the vest. The swan dive was far short of perfect. The beauty of the view stunned the young boy. Okay, so I've had a chance to listen to it, and it sounded pretty good for the price. The noise pickup, I'm always hearing a little bit of noise. It was interesting because it was a much lower hum than I'm used to hearing out of the box from these mics. Usually it's quite higher up. It's picking up the same type of noise, but it was just something a little bit lower. That's okay though. The mic does come in a little low, which is kind of unfortunate because I haven't maxed all the way out on OBS and it comes in kind of quiet still. Whereas in post, I can boost the audio, but then it also boosts the noise underneath it. So let's go ahead and use our tried and tested plugins and all that good stuff through OBS and through DaVinci Resolve and see how we can make it sound. The small pup, not a hole in the sock. The fish twisted and turned on the bent hook. Pressed the pants and sew a button on the vest. The swan dive was far short of perfect. The beauty of the view stunned the young boy. The small pup, not a hole in the sock. The fish twisted and turned on the bent hook. Pressed the pants and sew a button on the vest. The swan dive was far short of perfect. The beauty of the view stunned the young boy. The small pup, not a hole in the sock. The fish twisted and turned on the bent hook. Pressed the pants and sew a button on the vest. The swan dive was far short of perfect. The beauty of the view stunned the young boy. Alright, so I listened to the OBS and DaVinci Resolve versions, and definitely some improvements. A very similar problem to what we had with the HyperX Quadcast through OBS. The noise just kind of poured in on you again every time you kind of open your mouth. Actually, I had to lower the noise gate a little bit because with all the other mics, I've used the exact same setting to eliminate the noise in the room. But this one, because the mic was so quiet, as I was trying to talk, it would constantly be trying to take me down, and it was quite choppy. So I had to lower that a bit. We still managed to eliminate the room noise when I wasn't talking, but then it made it really jump in when I started talking again. And as for DaVinci, I made it mostly go away. I could still hear the hum a little bit, not as bad though. My voice was nice and crisp. I was happy with that. The EQ brought up the bass and all that good stuff, but keep in mind I did have to boost the audio to get it to a reasonable level, which is probably why we hear the noise underneath it a little bit more than we did in the HyperX or the Razer Seiren X. Alright, so let's break it all down and give this thing a score. For build quality, I'm going to give it about a 7. It's a similar build quality to the Razer Seiren X, obviously, but it's a cheaper price point and it's a smaller mic, and so kind of less expected of it. I did like the way that the USB fit in to kind of create this complete, that pill shape that it is, so that was pretty cool. The cable's nice. I like the metal grating around the microphone capsule, but man, Razer, you gotta do something about your stands. They're the weakest stands I've ever seen. Not from a strength standpoint, your microphone feels more like a joystick. You need to have all the adjustment up top so you can move it around, not at the bottom so you only have, you know, a little bit of rotation. Sound out of the box, I'm going to give it a 7. It wasn't too bad as far as picking up a lot of noise. There's other ones that have picked up more noise. It's a super cardioid polar pattern. You can't change polar patterns, that's just what it is. So it wasn't too shabby, again, especially for the price. For setup, I'm going to give it a 10. Because there's nothing to set up, you just plug it in and it works. For sound, after I tinkered with it a bit, I'll give it an 8. I made it better, a lot more stream friendly and post-production friendly, but I feel like I made the HyperX and the Razer Seiren X sound a little bit better coming out of it, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I had to boost this audio in software as opposed to on the mic itself. And for value, I think I'm going to give this probably about 8.5. It's a cheap microphone. It's $50 US right now on Amazon. To get any cheaper for mics, you're going to start looking at like the knockoff brands that come directly from China that you've never heard of the brand name and stuff like that before. So to have a name behind it and have a microphone this inexpensive, I think that it's probably one of the best ones out there. All right, so let me know what you thought about this mic down in the comments. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about it. And let me know if you've used the mic yourself, because I'd love to hear people's stories actually using it in streams and on podcasts and stuff like that. But that's enough for me, so until next time, get to work.
Molar ram.
Molar ram.
Yeah.
A molar ram.
Molar.
Mola.
It's like Tony Danza saying molar.
Mola ram. Okay, cool.
Oh my God, was that helpful?
Yep.
Holy.
Yep. Yes, it was.
That was not meant to be helpful.
That was actually meant to throw you right off.